Hey everyone. Well, welcome to the week where we finally get to learn about the terminal. We're going to see how Jupyter works and the file system in here, and we're going to learn a bunch of different commands to use in the terminal. And I want you to pay close attention to all of the things that I do with all of the commands in the terminal. But that is not the video here. This short video is just about how to work with the file system here. Okay, so the first thing to note is that the address, so where you are in your folder, is located right here at the top. This shows you where you are. So for example, right now, if it just says /, then you're just in the main directory that you have, your own main directory. That's where you are. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and make a folder in here. So I'm going to go to New and Folder. And when you make a folder, it becomes an untitled folder. So if you want to rename it, you just click the check mark next to it, go up and click rename. And I'm going to call this CS128 test. And you can see it came up right here. Okay, so instead of making a new folder, what you'll actually do is you'll go into your lab 9 shell S20 folder and work with all the things there. But I'm going to go ahead and go in here. And I can make another folder in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to call this one test A. And another thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and make a text file in here. So you don't have to make a folder, but in case you wanted to, this is how you do it. I'm going to go ahead and make a text file. And I'm going to call this file command.txt. You're going to need to make a command.txt file yourselves, and you're going to need to put in all the commands that you use there. Just real quick here, I want to show you what format I'm expecting for this command.txt file. So you're going to have steps 1 through 12 to do in the lab. The first step is just this stuff where you're just working with the file system. There's nothing to write down in this text file for that. The other 12 or the other 11 steps, I do actually want you to write down what you're doing. So the other 11 steps are going to be in the terminal, and I want you to write the commands that you use there. So here, for step 1, you're not going to write anything. So start with step 2, write 2, period, and then you're going to put the command that you're going to use here. So you might put in cd something. I'm going to put in cd128 test. And actually, the way that you put in a space in a terminal is you put a / space. Now the slash, make sure that it's a backslash, not a /. Or in other words, a slosh. Okay. And so if you need to enter more than one line, like maybe you're copying something and you're copying something else, and maybe you're copying something else, and maybe you're copying something to another folder, just put those one after the other. And then 4, whatever your commands are, and so on, all the way through 12. Or you're going to write history or something. Something like this. Okay. So you can edit text files in here. This is a really good way to edit text files. You can save things here, go File, Save, or just Control S. There are other ways to edit files. So you could use something called MobaXterm or other software to edit files that are on the server. But for now, just go ahead and use this. This is the easiest way. I'm going to go ahead and close out of this. And I'm going to go into this test folder, test A, just to show you. You see, this is the place where you see where you are in the current file system. A lot of you have been having trouble with this. If you want to go back out to your main directory, what you do is you click this link to root folder here. Okay, so you just click that folder icon to return to the main folder that you have. Okay, that's about it for the file system. So just make sure that you understand that there are folders in this file system, right? So the folders are marked with the folder icon. And there are files, right? And the files are marked usually with the notebook thingy here. If you make a .txt file or anything else other than an IPython notebook, then that's going to be marked with this icon here, I believe. I haven't seen any other icons. So I think that's probably it. So if you have a text file or a .dat file or .czip file or CPP for C++ or C or whatever, even a .python file, we'll talk about those later. It'll be marked with this icon here. If you have a Python notebook file, which is the stuff that you open in Jupyter and actually code in, that's going to be an extension of .ipynb, and it's going to be marked with this notebook here. And if it's green, that means that it's running. So for example, this untitled 8.ipython notebook, that's a file that I never actually closed. So it's still running in the background on the server. I'm going to go ahead and put a check mark next to it, go up, and shut it down. You see also these guys I never closed, so I'm going to go ahead and shut them down. This way the server has less stuff to do. Okay, so there are folders in the main directory, and you can click on them and you go into them. And what we're going to do is we're going to see how that works with the terminal as well. And we're going to see all the basic functionality that you can do with the terminal. And there is always more to learn about the terminal. There's so much that you could do with it. But we're just going to learn the basics, and I hope you understand those. All right. Make sure you understood all of that, maybe rewatch it, and then go on to the terminal videos. Thanks for watching. Good luck with this lab.